and welcome to another CONAN EXILES mod showcase video. Today I will present you Kalimdor Exiles, a completely different map that carries something special with it, mainly for players who play or have played World of Warcraft, since this map is based on its map Kalimdor. Let's say that this map can be two games in just one. While I think that any map including this one can be adapted to any kind of game mode, PvP, PvE and roleplay, Kalimdor Exiles was built specially for roleplay, but with significant PvE aspects too. If you press the key to open the map in-game, you can already see every area in the map. However, some of these are still not completely finished, since this map is still a work in progress. The creator has been working on it for quite a long time now, and has made a good part of the map already fully playable, so it's already worth a try. You can now play through places that resemble World of Warcraft map areas like Orgrimmar, Durotar and even the Barrens. More areas and diverse types of content are about to come soon. If you'd like to keep an eye on this map progress, take another look at its Steam page or even join one of their Discord servers linked in there to keep up with the work going on. Things like more items, races and new areas are in the plans. Currently, the descriptions and names of the several NPCs and items from this mod are in the German language only, but a full translation of this to English is prone to happen in the future. Understand that the implementation of the translation into modded content may take a while to happen. This map is still playable for who doesn't understand German, which is great news. For further details, I suggest you to watch my mod downloading and installation guide that is linked down below in this video description. I will now just tell you the basic steps about how you can have access to this map in your game. If you are trying to join a server with mods, it's likely that the game will download them for you, but it will require a restart of your game, or you can do it manually. After subscribing to this mod through its Steam Workshop page, which is linked in this video description and on the pinned comment, your Steam app should start downloading the mod for you. Once it's done, open the Funcom launcher and select the Mods tab. Drag the correct mod from the list at the left side to the right side to enable these mods. Remember that you can also do this in the Game Mods option from the main menu, but the game restart is needed to enable a mod that way. Alright, once these steps are taken, you can look for a community server running this map or start a private game of your own. For example, let's head over to the single player mode. Here you must select the custom option in order to be able to choose playing in this modded map. You are free to adjust any other gameplay settings before starting a new game in Kalimdor Exiles map. The first changes that Kalimdor Exiles mod does to your game will be noticed as soon as you enter in the character's customization screen. This mod provides extra character skin colors as well with changes to its head, which include different ears and teeth. With these extra additions, you can pretend you are playing as an orc or even a troll or elf. From my own experience, Kalimdor Exiles mod appears to be working with other kinds of mods, even the ones that significantly change the game. But if you find any compatibility issues, it is a good idea to report that to the mod creator. You can also play in different maps while you have Kalimdor Exiles enabled in your game, and those include other modded maps. You will keep having access to the Kalimdor Exiles items through the admin panel item spawning list, as well with the mod FEATS through the FEATS tab. For a bigger feeling you are playing in a MMORPG, installing the Greater Camera Distance mod is a good addition. You can even choose to add extra mods that implement diverse types of content or mechanics just to spice up the Kalimdor Exiles map experience even more. If you are looking into flying mounts, their addition to the map is unknown for now at least. You will see a griffin path on the Kalimdor Exiles mod, but this one is not intended to be used for flying right now. It has even a saddle, but using it will give you some trouble. There are some alternative mods that contain flying mounts and can be enabled together with this map, like the LCDA Bestiary and the Exiles Extreme mods. To change or add any more things to the current existing areas and even points of interest, you may want to take a look at the PP user and server management mod to do it. All these mentioned mods are linked down below in the description and the pinned comments. You will notice that humans are not the only species roaming around Kalimdor. Based in World of Warcraft, this modern map creator decided to add some of the diverse races from that game into CONAN Exiles. Orcs are quite noticeable through diverse camps, as well with the Tauren species and the THRALLS. The modded armor sets are also based in certain races from World of Warcraft. We will take a look at those in a while. The faction system is a quite recent implementation from this mod. For now in Kalimdor you can choose which faction you would like to join in. There are about 3 factions in this mod you can choose to be part of: the Alliance, the Brigands and the Horde. For example, if you choose to join the Horde faction, the Alliance, Brigands and certain NPCs will become hostile to you. There is also status of neutrality. All of the neutral NPCs will not be affected by this faction system, even though they can still be hostile or friendly towards you. There are NPCs that will always try to attack you no matter which faction you choose. You can choose your faction after you start a new game. There are specific types of gear for each faction. We will take a look at those later in this video. Now let's take a further look into the playable areas of this map. Don't forget that more areas will be available through the time. Maybe some are already implemented while you are watching this video, who knows. The current playable areas of Kalimdor Exiles and the official maps have slightly similar environments, with wildlands like the desert, savanna, swamp and even the Highlands forest. Be careful where you go to, especially if you venture yourself into the swamp area, as it's filled with threats including tough bosses. The weather also seems to be working as intended. You will deal with both sunny and rainy days. Some of the visual elements that you will possibly find in the Kalimdor Exiles skies to make things even more amusing are the blimps and flying dragons. This will make the map a little more alive and make you feel like you are really in a fantasy world. Something that I found pretty interesting and unique in this map were the few types of ways you can move through specific areas. I have found a few elevators, but was also able to see blimps on the skies. If you are lucky enough to catch one, go and fly around. If you wait by the docks, there are chances you can go for a little trip in one of the available moving boats. From villages to small camps and even caves, Kalimdor has them all. You will be able to find loot and NPCs through the diverse points of interest, which have different sizes and more or less map elements, of course, to make each of them looking different from each other, no matter who owns those places you will run into. In this map, You are allowed to build anywhere, even inside the villages and camps. Just in case you are a server admin and want to turn those points of interest into no building zones, you must use a few mods together with Kalimdor Exiles to limit those areas manually. At least from what I suppose to know. Check this video description for suggestions about mods that allow you to control things a little more. This freedom of building through the map is intentional and will remain as it is currently. Probably that's one of the reasons why you will even randomly find a few fully functional workstations inside of certain points of interest. While plenty of those are for decoration purposes, a few others like one or another drying rack and some dismantling benches are at your disposal and you can use them as you hold with the crafting stations you place in your base. One thing that makes me keep being interested in this map is the addition of the diverse caves through certain areas. It is interesting the amount of materials you can find inside the caves, but also the enemies that will cross your way while exploring those. Diverse common and rare official maps, resources and creatures are available in this map. You may be surprised with how you will find rare materials like star metal ore or even decaying Galdarium. It won't be long until you start finding in this map creatures that look familiar to you. Things look a little more scattered around diverse areas, so keep exploring and you will find at least a few good farming spots. Apart from the diverse places you can obtain many of the already known crafting resources, you will be able to collect a big variety of loot from going into the available points of interest from the map, by looking for the correct loot chests, or by killing the diverse existing enemies. Some will drop quite rare items, so keep fighting them. There are different types of loot chests inside the points of interest from Kalimdor. While many contain loot inside, others are simply decorative and cannot be interacted with. This for sure makes looting a little more challenging, but likely more rewarding in the end, I'm hoping. You will find both base game chests and Warcraft inspired chests. There may be a few legendary chests around too. I think you know what to do to be able to open one. I have found at least a special chest that requires a colored crystal to open, which you may eventually find during your journey. There is a wide variety of NPCs in the Kalimdor Exiles world. That includes the animals and strange creatures you will find while running through the map. There are also several different kinds of bosses to fight with. Around the available points of interest, you can find random creatures, orcs, trolls and base game human NPCs from different races like the Kushite, Stygian and Accursed and so on. a good amount of worker NPCs, which can become your thralls if you wish to. Among all the fighters and archers, you will find diverse NPCs like alchemists, taskmasters, carpenters, priests, tanners, dancers, and so on. It is important to notice that with some luck, you will come across with specialty workers like overseers, bowmakers, shield wrights, and even more, who knows. You can also find human bosses sometimes. Merchants or traders are something to look for too. Each of them sell different things: weapon racks, legendary weapon repair kits, decorative pieces, and even certain baby animals like the crested lacerta hatchling and island lynx cub are some of the things that you can obtain from the merchants in exchange for coins, which can be obtained through the same ways you would obtain in the official maps. Religion teachers NPCs are something that you can find through Kalimdor points of interest too. By the way, certain ships that are not moving around have a chance to contain a few NPCs inside, or really nothing. You can obtain some of the base game pets like ostriches and foals from what I've found so far. You just have to pick up the baby animals at certain locations, or even choose to buy the ones that some merchants are selling. I've noticed there is also a griffin that you can raise as a pet. Kalimdor Exiles mod brings a few new feats to unlock under the feats tab. The specific feats will unlock the diverse types of items, recipes that belong to the available factions. During your journey through the different locations of Kalimdor, you may find some spots where you can also unlock more recipes. I've looked through every available item that Kalimdor Exiles mod includes. Take note that anything about these may change, or even more things can be added. That is really up to the mod creator plans anyway. So let's start to take a look at some of these items before showcasing the gear pieces. I suppose some of these items I have in here are still waiting to be used. However, I have obtained the information about them, and these seem to be items that can be used in quests. You can see here items like the dagger tip, luminous pendant, which is surrounded by a strange aura, playing cards, unknown badge, and so on. These items for sure have one use or will have one use sometime. Hopefully in the future I will figure out a way of using these in the supposed quests. We also have in here a few letters that I've found in the items list. These seem to be part of the lore. I've done my best to try translating these, so I could have an idea of what these were about. Out by curiosity, I can tell you things about these available letters that I have in here. This one, for example, is about a person who was fed up of doing favors to someone else. After all that work, they never heard a thank you from that someone else, and there is a reminder in the end saying that if that someone else wants to apologize for not saying thank you for all that work done, the person that wrote this letter and did all that work is currently enjoying their retirement at the beach of a tropical island. In a couple of letters, the writing is no longer understandable, just because probably one of these letters is old and the words began to disappear, and the other is really due to how bad the writing is, alright? And here in this letter, which should be aimed to us players or exiles, there's someone saying that they watch with pride or devotion to the heart, and when they have met Conan, they have never thought that there were humans that could look similar to orcs. They also recognize our work and support by sending us this letter to express their gratitude, and that they try to give as much support as they can by sending whatever they can send to us if the supply routes allow it. Alright, about this letter, it seems to have been written by someone called Gartok, which is actually an orc from World of Warcraft. He's telling here to someone called Nazgrel that already sent him some messages, but they never reached them. And in this letter, Gartok sends bad news to Nazgrel too. He says that the Tyrard castle has been rebuilt and that it was taken over by a knight of the Alliance faction, who now rules it with an iron fist. So he asks Nazgrel for support and tells him to send troops for Ogrimmar, the orc city, so he will be able to kick that knight out of their lands. In this last letter, someone is saying that their wife has disappeared and is asking for help to find her. Mithril Baron are Mithril bars. Their description says that Mithril is a magical material made of obsidian, glass and silver, at least here in Conan. It is actually something that can be obtained or used in World of Warcraft, but I wonder if it's made out of something else in that game. Well, anyway, it is considered a rare type of metal, as hard as iron but lighter. Make sure to obtain these, since you will need this resource to craft certain types of gear at the modded workbenches. Actually, about talking on this, let's proceed with the modded crafting station showcase. This thing here is no more than just a furnace to smell the mithril at. This one is a little bird cage where you can obtain eggs from. This is some sort of pot with nasty things in it. Use this to get ichor by placing the required items inside it. Used to craft diverse races items, from armor and weapons to placeable objects and so on. The workbenches from the Alliance, the Brigands and the Horde are some of the stations that you probably want to put your hands on. You really must take a look at how many cool looking things you can get from those. There are several objects you can obtain and place down to decorate your base. These include a variety of paintings, rugs, beds that you can use as spawn points, a throne, and several other objects to make your place looking even better. There are some containers that you can obtain by playing in this map, like a couple of weapon displays, a cupboard, and a few different new chests to store your items at. I found a few more things on the list, like this orc catapult blueprint, which is pretty much a recipe you can unlock in order to be able to craft an orc catapult at an artisan's work table. This is for decoration only, for now at least. This one will allow you to unlock the decorative wall horns recipe. You should drag this horn into your hotbar to use it so you can summon an ogre companion. These are faction badges that you can use, so you can switch between factions. I suppose that the faction system will keep being developed in the future. Let's see how it goes. Now let's dive into the gear. Let's start with the tools. There are a couple of torches and a pickaxe. Let's take a look at the weapons and shields. Many of these have improved versions. You can compare the stats between each other and try to get the best of them. About the armor sets and lone armor pieces, mostly of these belong to the specific factions races. Like weapons and shields, many armor pieces have improved versions too. And we've reached the end of this showcase. Let me know what you think about the idea behind this modded map. Again, feel free to check out the Steam page linked below on this video description or pinned comment for further info about the development of this mod. More patches coming soon. Thank you so much for watching another of my videos about Conan Exiles mods. See you in another time.